Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift NoDQ. If you are watching this video hoping to get more excited about WrestleMania 35, I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. You ain't gonna get it from this video, that's for damn sure. Let's go ahead and talk about Raw, which was in Chicago. And theoretically, in Chicago, this should have been a red-hot Raw to really get your blood pumping, get you excited for the biggest WWE show of the year. And, well, that really didn't happen. So, Raw kicked off with Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. Lesnar was heavily booed in Chicago. I mean, heavily booed. The crowd did not care for Brock Lesnar whatsoever. Paul was hesitating with his promo to soak in the heat. And then he talked about what Seth Rollins said last week, how Brock got very close to being beaten by guys like Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. And Heyman pointed out that it doesn't matter because in the end, Brock won all those matches. And then Heyman brought up how Rollins is messing around with Drew McIntyre and questions what is Rollins thinking. This led to Drew McIntyre coming out. McIntyre said that Rollins will not make WrestleMania. And then we had Seth Rollins run down with a steel chair. He hit him in the back, hit him in the gut. The cameraman with the camera was like doing this the whole time like a jackass. I retweeted a video of it on NoDQ's Twitter. Go check it out. I am so annoyed with that camera work. It is just driving me crazy. And now that I see the guy doing that and he's bending his knees while he does it, it's just so cringy. It doesn't make the action any more exciting. So stop doing it, please. Anyways, Rollins attacked McIntyre with the chair, ran into the ring, and then Lesnar took off, and that was that. Michael Cole hyped up this mystery partner for Finn Balor and said that this partner would be monstrous. Finn Balor came out, so again, Finn Balor seems to be the guy that comes out after the opening segment every single week. I feel like 9 times out of 10, after the opening promo or whatever the first segment is, Finn Balor comes out. Balor Club has come to whatever town this show is in. And it's the usual stuff. Him there in his Fonz gear. His Fonz leather jacket. He wished everyone a happy belated St. Patrick's Day. And he said that last week on Raw, luck was not on his side. He was quickly interrupted by Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. And then Finn Balor introduced his tag team partner, which was Braun Strowman. That's right, Braun Strowman, the tag team partner for Finn Balor. And of course, it went pretty much exactly as you would expect. Braun Strowman threw around Lio Rush a lot, tossed him really high in the air like he just doesn't care. Lio was drooling from the carnage. And then Lashley tried to help. He hit a spear on Strowman, but that didn't work. And then Lashley was just like, screw it. He took off, and Strowman hit the running power slam to pin Lio Rush. Pretty much accomplished nothing. Did nothing for WrestleMania. WWE announced about Ronda Rousey being fined for what she did the previous week on Raw. She arrived with her husband, Travis Brown, and then the referee came up to her and said that since she's late, they're going to possibly fine her more. And then the referee said that extra security was hired. So wait a minute. Why is this a big deal that Ronda Rousey is late? Since when in the world of WWE does it matter if you're late? Vince shows up late all the time. Triple H shows up late. Pretty much everyone shows up late. There's always a shot of somebody arriving to the arena 20, 30 minutes after Raw starts. So since when is this a big deal? Yeah, I get it. It's pro wrestling. You got to check your brain at the door. You know, I'm thinking too much here. Too much logic. But yeah, it's dumb. Speaking of dumb, next up we had a Moment of Bliss segment, and the streak of bad Alexa Bliss segments continues. She brought out Elias as her guest. He is going to be headlining WrestleMania as the musical act, which hopefully this means no lame-ass concerts by anybody else. But he made a point to say that nobody better interrupt him at WrestleMania, which means possibly Undertaker or John Cena or somebody's going to run out there and interrupt him, of course. Then we had the conga line come out with No Way Jose, led by Otis from Heavy Machinery, and Alexa was like, you guys are supposed to come out at the very end. You're not supposed to interrupt Elias. To me, this was just dying a brutal death. This was not funny. It was just annoying. I have no idea what's up with No Way Jose's hair. I mean, is he feeling the glow like Naomi? I mean, what's the deal here? Master Debating with the first super chat of the night. He says, yo, my dink touched the inside of the toilet bowl. Good to know. Moving on here. We had Elias versus No Way Jose. Not much to say to it. Basically, just TV filler. Elias won with the drift away. And what a segment we had next. We had Kurt Angle come out. Up to this point, the crowd was pretty hot for Raw. I mean, the Chicago fans are usually energetic, and the first hour, they were into the show. Then we had Kurt Angle come out, and then he announced that he will get to pick his opponent for WrestleMania. Was it John Cena? Nope. Was it anybody remotely interesting? Nope. It was Baron Corbin. That's right, the same Baron Corbin he's had half a dozen matches with over the past 6 months. Crowd just died a death like I have not seen on WWE television that often. Chad Gable came out for a match, so I guess this is Kurt Angle's retirement tour, and crowd was very disinterested in the match. They started chanting, "We want Cena," so that goes to show where the crowd was, where they were at, just thinking about how stupid this was that Baron Corbin is fighting Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Kurt Angle won with the ankle lock, and then Baron Corbin said that he is going to humble Kurt Angle in Angle's last match. And that was pretty much the end of this segment. Backstage, Apollo Cruz challenged Baron Corbin to a match. And then Corbin asked the Revival if they liked him. And they were like, hell no. And that was the only time we saw the Revival on this show. Next up, we had Bayley and Sasha Banks come out, the Boston Hug Connection. They said that they were going to step up to any challenge. They announced that they would appear on SmackDown, and Bayley said that that appearance will be iconic. So I guess we're going to have Bayley and Sasha versus the Iconics at SmackDown. Maybe Iconics get added to WrestleMania. Maybe they don't. Who knows? Does anybody really care? I'm sure some people do, but I really don't care. Natalya and Beth Phoenix came out. Beth cut a promo. This was supposed to be a big epic moment. Beth Phoenix announcing that she's coming out of retirement. But the crowd really didn't care that much. And I think probably a lot of it had to do with what happened with the Kurt Angle announcement. Power Packers 90 with a $2 super chat says, hey Aaron, can I call in later because I was at Raw? Yeah, sure, we can set that up. Just give me a few minutes here to finish this review, and we'll have Power Packers 90 call in and give us his thoughts being there in Chicago. Get him on Skype there. So, Beth Phoenix did her promo. She said that she was content doing her announcing until Nia Jax and Tamina started showing jealousy and pettiness. So I guess that convinced her to come out of retirement. That awoke the dragon. So apparently she's Ricky Steamboat now. Beth said she's ready to step out of retirement, and she like had this big dramatic delay, you know, to get the crowd reaction, and crowd really didn't react that much. I mean, there were some polite cheers, but not much. I mean, the crowd was not blown away by this big announcement from the Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix. Bayley then started being confrontational, saying that maybe Beth needs to have some time to prepare, and Natalya countered by saying that Beth is ready to go. She won her women's championship in Chicago, of all places. And then Sasha responded to Natalya, saying that Natalya's just riding Beth's coattails to get on the WrestleMania card. That was a funny line, although Sasha's delivery was not too good. It sounded like somebody reading off of a script. Basically, everything turned into a brawl. Ref tried to break it up. This led to Natalya versus Sasha, which was quickly interrupted by Nia Jax. Nia came out and said that she's the prettier, stronger version of the Glamazon. And then, while everyone was distracted by this, Tamina ran down and attacked everyone. Match got thrown out. Looks like we're getting a triple threat at WrestleMania. Maybe the Iconics get added for a four-way. Nothing would shock me at this point. We had Mojo Rawley with another one of his backstage vignettes where he said he despises the word potential. What good is it if you cannot make the most of it? And then he yelled at himself in the mirror to figure it out. $2 super chat here from Sparkstar Mass 89. Thank you for that. He says, No DQ is awesome. Great work, Aaron. He said, No DQ is awesome. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the review tonight. Moving on here, we had Ricochet versus former WWE champion Jinder Mahal. No entrance for Jinder, by the way, the former WWE champion. Ricochet took out everybody on the outside, including the Singh brothers, and then pinned the former WWE champion with the 630. Yeah, I mean, no surprise here. Jinder back to where he was before he got his push. It is what it is. And Ricochet was the only NXT guy that was on Raw tonight. No Aleister Black, no Johnny Gargano. Obviously, Tommaso Ciampa's out of action. No EC3 again. It was his birthday, and poor EC3, I think he responded on Twitter by saying he enjoyed his birthday meal from catering or something like that. Next up, we had a promo from Seth Rollins. He said what he does to Drew McIntyre tonight, he's doing it for Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. He said he will not be pushed around by Brock Lesnar, and he's going to fight fire with fire. Dana Brooke cut a promo and said that underdogs can make history, and she only has to be better than Ronda Rousey for 3 seconds. And speaking of 3 seconds, that's pretty much how long it took for Ronda to beat Dana Brooke. Literally just beat her up real quick, put her in the armbar, submission victory, and then would not let go of the armbar because she's a dastardly heel now. And not much to say about this segment. Ronda Rousey went after the security, and then Travis Brown, Ronda's husband, was at ringside and picked her up and took her away from ringside and tried to calm her down a little bit. Liam McKee with a $2 super chat says, Lesnar versus Batista after Mania? Fan from UK, thanks. Well, thank you for tuning in, and I know it's quite late there, so I appreciate it. I don't know if Batista's doing another match. I feel like this is going to be a one-off. Who knows? But speaking of the UK, I did want to do a cheap plug here. So this coming Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, I'm going to be doing a special live No DQ&A. I will be answering some questions from Twitter. I'll be answering some questions from the chat room, super chats, and I will also be taking Skype calls. That will be this coming Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and that'll be early enough for those of you in the UK so you can tune in as well. Mike B is here. Thank you, Mike B, with his $5 super chat. He says, made official during the commercial break. This Raw sucked ass. However, no DQ never does. Aaron is the GOAT. Thank you, Mike B. I do appreciate it. Although, according to some people on Twitter, here's the latest Twitter heat. I am a creepy weirdo for posting pictures of Sasha Banks and sharing them with everybody. Apparently, I'm objectifying women by doing that. So sorry, everybody, but I'm a weird creep. Don't know what else to tell you. But I appreciate the kind words, Mike B. You're awesome. Stay tuned. What will I do to piss off Twitter next weekend? Drum roll. Next up we had, real quick before I get to the next segment, I do want to add, so TJS brought this up. So shout out to TJS, NoDQ.com/TJS. Last week, Ronda Rousey made a big deal about not wanting to give away the armbar. She's like, if you want to see the armbar, you have to pay $60 for it. So what does she do here? She puts the armbar on Dana Brooke. So what was the point of that line from last week if she's just going to do the armbar anyways? Like, nobody thinks about this stuff. Like, really? Again, these people are creative geniuses. They're making millions of dollars. I know nothing. I'm an idiot. I'm just some weird creepo. Some weird creepo with a YouTube channel. So next up we had Baron Corbin versus Apollo Cruz. What was interesting here was that the announcers did bring up the backlash that Corbin was getting for being announced as Kurt Angle's opponent, how people were upset on social media about this. My thought process is that there's going to be some change. Like, this cannot be the WrestleMania match. Nobody wants to see this as Kurt Angle's final match. I mean, maybe a few people do. Maybe Greg Cherry does, but not that many people. NoDQ Soldier with a $2 super chat says, Aaron, who is that on your t-shirt? Well, this right here is Mark Henry. I mean, obviously you can tell it's Mark Henry. Oh My God Ruler with a $2 super chat says, weird creeps don't have cool girlfriends. Aaron, ignore the haters. Well, thank you for that. I do appreciate it. And that is a very true statement. Although some might. I mean, some people might come off as one way, but really they have their dark secrets in their closet, their skeleton, so to speak. So you can't really say that about everybody, but I'm the exception. Let's see, where are we now? Back to Corbin versus Apollo Cruz. So yeah, I'm thinking there's got to be something happening here. Whether it's going to be a last-minute change or not remains to be seen. It's possible that WWE was planning Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle all along, and they're going to change things now because of the backlash. But then again, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. But I will say this. I don't really care about Kurt Angle's retirement match now at this point. If it's Baron Corbin, to quote The Rock back from 2000, Kurt Angle's match at WrestleMania is going to absolutely suck unless something gets shaken up there. Oh, wow. Okay, $2 super chat from Tony H. He says, as of 8:50 p.m. Eastern, I became a dad. Had to share. Congratulations, Tony H. Very, very happy for you, my friend. That is awesome news. And congrats. That's all I got to say. Sean White with the $2 super chat says, I think it is too soon for Lio Rush and Bobby to split. Well, what's funny is a couple weeks ago, they were on the verge of breaking up. Then they got back together, and then Bobby Lashley walked out on him again. So, yeah, don't know what to say about that. I'm not really invested in either of them at this point, so I really don't care. Not much to say about it. It is what it is. All right, moving on here, we had Apollo Cruz actually defeat Baron Corbin with a roll-up, which makes me think all the more that this has got to be some kind of swerve. It's not going to be Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. No way. there's got to be something to this, especially with Corbin losing here. There's got to be. If they do Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle, no. It's not going to happen. I have hope that this is just a swerve. But still, it kind of sucks because, now granted, John Cena's doing a movie right now, so maybe it just wasn't possible, but Chicago would have been the perfect place to announce Angle versus Cena for WrestleMania, because I believe the Angle-Cena match, correct me if I'm wrong here, I believe that match in 2002 was in Chicago. Would have been the perfect place to announce the match for WrestleMania. You would have had like the big holy crap chants, and the crowd would have just been red hot for it. It would have been that big WrestleMania moment that this show desperately needed, and we didn't get it. So yeah, maybe John Cena will be announced as the opponent last minute, maybe on the go home Raw. But I feel like this would have been the best time to do it. Maybe not. Maybe Cena will appear on the Go Home Raw, and it'll be an amazing segment. But yeah, on this particular night, I was hoping for something big in Chicago, and we really did not get it. Yes, I have gotten some confirmation that John Cena did debut in Chicago. And Caitlin says I should give Raw better letter grade because of Tony H being a father. You know what? Maybe I will. Instead of... I'm not going to give Raw an F now. So there you go. Because of Tony H, I'll be a little bit more generous. Hand Jobs. Ha ha ha. With a $2 super chat donation. So Mr. Jobs says, Velveteen Dream probably smokes pole like a champion. Moving on here, we had a recap of Batista and Triple H's Give Me What I Want promo to set up WrestleMania. And then Batista was interviewed by Michael Cole. Michael Cole asked him why he's so angry. Batista said, well, I just don't like the guy. And Michael Cole wanted him to elaborate. Batista said Triple H basically used him. And he blames Triple H for why he quit in 2010. He said he left and became a movie star, and now he has control. And he said Triple H has everybody fooled. And at WrestleMania, he is going to end Triple H's career. And then he yelled, interview over, get out of my office. Wasn't really feeling it. I mean, how many times have we heard the played out, I'm going to end somebody's career? When has that ever happened? When is, in the history of wrestling, has somebody ever said, I'm going to end your career, and they actually did it? Give me an example, because I'd like to know. There are very few instances that I can recall where somebody said in an interview, I'm going to end your career, and then that career actually ended. Give me an example of when that happened, because I'm having trouble. Maybe Triple H and Cactus Jack from No Way Out 2000, even though Mick Foley came back the next month. Give me some examples of when somebody said in an interview, I'm going to end your career, and then somebody actually had their career ended. I guess Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, even though Ric Flair did come back 2 years later, in TNA, if we're counting that. I guess Undertaker and Shawn Michaels is one. That's probably the best example. I would say Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker from WrestleMania 26. Probably the best example of somebody saying, I'm going to end your career and actually doing it. But yeah, it doesn't happen that often. I thought the promo was weak. Again, I think this would have been so easy. You could have had Batista say that he wanted to be part of the company. He wanted to be involved again, and they basically ignored him. It was such an easy story to tell here. Just play it off of real life. Batista's doing his movies. He wants to come back. He wants to be involved again, but WWE doesn't want to have anything to do with him. It would have been such an easy story. And it just, for me personally, it isn't clicking. This guy with a $2 super chat, he says, "No DQ number one, please give me my credit for the Wrestling Trivia Challenge Iron Man match." All right, well, I don't know who came up with it, quite frankly, but sure, I'll give you credit for it since you left the super chat. I'm sure now more people are going to want to have credit for stuff too. If you super chat, you get credit for something. Next up, we had a recap of Batista destroying the Saturday Night Live guys' car, and then Strowman was interviewed. He officially entered himself for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, aka the Dre, and then of course Braun Strowman said that he has to take care of business with the Saturday Night Live guys after he wins the Battle Royal. Alexa, who's the host of WrestleMania, said that she wants to try to make peace between Strowman and the Saturday Night Live guys, and Strowman was like, not having any of that. This is still a thing. Batista, I keep saying Batista. I mean, that's how far down Strowman has gotten that I keep thinking of Batista over Strowman at this point. When Strowman should be the man right now, and he's in the friggin' Battle Royal, feuding with Saturday Night Live guys. Ugh. DJ Whitey with a $5 super chat. How's it going, DJ? He says, "You the man, Aaron. The No DQ Galaxy loves you, bro. Keep up the good work." Well, thank you so much for that, DJ. Very much appreciated. And, I also appreciate when you called in a couple weeks ago with your thoughts. We'll get Power Packers on here shortly. Almost done with this Raw review. So we had the main event segment. Drew McIntyre came out for another promo. Second promo from him of the night, and then, like the 50th promo on this show. He called Seth Rollins a coward. He said that this is his yard now, and he officially challenged Roman Reigns to a fight at WrestleMania. He said he wants to speak to Joe the Man, and said that, yeah, Joe did beat leukemia, but at WrestleMania, he will not beat him. We had Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Rollins ran out. They started fighting. There was a huge brawl. McIntyre tried to use the steel chair that Rollins used earlier, but was unsuccessful. And then Rollins made his big comeback, hit the Falcon Arrow, got the near fall. And then we had Brock Lesnar's music hit. Lesnar came out there, and stupid babyface once again. Seth Rollins just stands there, gets distracted, and then turns around and gets hit by a Claymore kick, and Drew McIntyre defeats Seth Rollins. Why are the babyfaces so stupid? Week after week, like you would think after all these years, they would learn by now. You're not going to get me this time with your username. A $5 super chat by Mike HUNT. Says, "Watching WWE is like being a fan of a really crappy sports team. You keep watching, hoping one day they will improve, but they never do. Yawn." I find it hard to disagree with that. I mean, that's a very valid point. When people say, if you don't like Raw, you don't like WWE, why do you keep watching it? I think that's a great way to put it. I think for a lot of us, we are loyal fans, and we expect more. We want to see more. We know WWE as a creative entity is capable of more, but they don't give us more. They give us the bare minimum. They just focus on trying to make as much money as possible, and they don't really take creative chances or give the audience what they truly want. Again, it's Vince telling everybody, I know what you guys want better than you do. So Vince does whatever he feels like. And fans, some of them do like it, though. There is an audience. There's an audience that is very loyal. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't, and they'll reluctantly go with it. They'll keep watching. They'll buy tickets. They'll buy merchandise. They'll still support the brand that they are invested in. But, that there's definitely frustration. All right, so let's go ahead and do the letter grade for Raw. I will be a little bit generous because Tony H is now a dad, but Noah gives it a D-. I'm giving it a D+. D+ is for Chicago, this should have been a much bigger show than it was. Jeremy McGill, former Wrestling Trivia Challenge contestant with an F. Gary with a D+. Power Packers 90 with a C-. Power Packers, if you would like to call in, go ahead. Kayfabe Candy S with a 2.5 out of 10 goth babes. Let's see here. Offman Rules with a C. Jeremy Dorset with a C-. TK A for Tony's, F+ for Raw. All right, got the call here. Hello, are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going, James?
Hey, it's going great. Thanks for letting me call in here.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah. Sorry, I can talk there for a second.
Oh, no worries.
Trying to eat here.
All right, so you were at the show tonight? Actually, real quick before you get to that, Daniel Gonzalez with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Daniel. Says, I canceled my WWE network. And then this guy with a $2 super chat donation says, do you think Breaking Bad writers could save WWE? I'm not sure if anybody could save WWE if you have to answer to Vince and if you have to kiss up to him and do whatever he says. But anyways, so you were at Raw tonight, and what were your thoughts on the show? What did you like? What did you not like?
I had fun just because of Chicago and how crazy the crowd can be. I mean, we were hot. Like, the second you're walking in the door to the minute people were leaving, the crowd was still really on fire. Actual show, though, there was a lot that could have been, better. Like, it's nice to hear the Brock Lesnar music hit and he walks out, but once Heyman started cutting that same old, spoiler, Brock's going to win, Brock's going to be Universal Champion forever thing, the crowd really started to turn. It wasn't heel heat turn, it was beach ball and CM Punk chants and just people looking at their phones, like not giving a crap about it.
Right.
And then throughout the night, there was CM Punk chants. Like Ronda got it a lot during like the commercial break. I guess for you guys, from what I understand, there was a lot of CM Punk chants for her while she was standing there in the ring.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like throughout the show, I could hear him on TV.
The most loudest one, and it surprised me, was when Kurt said that Corbin at Mania. There was like a collective groan in my section.
Right.
And then just echoing throughout the whole arena was, we want Cena.
Right.
We want Cena.
And think about that. Like, people almost never chant "We want Cena." So when
in Chicago, no less.
I know, right? That is nuts.
Yeah, I kind of hope you were right that it's not Corbin. Because like I said, as soon as he announced it, like all people looking forward for the Kurt Angle match, like completely was sucked out of the arena.
I bet.
Like,
yeah.
There was even some "Who's your daddy?" chants at Gable, I guess, because they wanted him to be the father.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. Zo My God Ruler with a $2 super chat says, any other potential choices for Kurt Angle? Jeff Jarrett? I don't know about Jarrett. I mean, who would you like to see? Like, if you had a say in the matter.
I would have had, because of what they had with TNA, I would have had either Joe or EC3. Like, somebody who you can give the rub in WWE. Like, nobody who saw their work in TNA with him, you can give them the rub by retiring Kurt Angle.
Oh, I would have loved like Angle versus Joe, and that could have been like the one Raw versus SmackDown match of the card.
Yes, that's one guy I would have had it be but I thought WWE was seriously going to go for like a Cena or some part timer coming back for the dream match instead of giving somebody the rub.
Yeah, I felt like people were anticipating Cena, so there was definitely that disappointment when it didn't happen.
Yeah, it was most of the crowd that was pretty good about the show. Like the rest of it, like during the Batista promo, there was a lot of people snickering at Michael Cole's line about, Triple H has always shown me respect. There was like people like heckling, yelling, like, you idiot, he pulled your pants down with DX in 97.
Right.
This is the guy who hired Rikishi to run over Steve Austin and Katie Vick. You're saying he respects everybody? His catchphrase is "suck it."
Right. And then, the other week he's being a heel and now he's a good guy. Like,
yeah. So like that was, and also my buddy Kyle, the second Dana Brooke came out for her match, he went on his phone to the timer and going, "I'm going to time this," and I think it was like 17 seconds.
I'm surprised it was even that long. Like it just went by in a second. Like if you blinked, you missed it.
Yeah. And then after her husband hit the security guy, there was chance of like call the cops.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that was mostly it. Just being there live in the crowd, like that kind of experience in Chicago is always hot. But when you actually ask me about the actual show, could have been a lot better, especially 3 weeks Chicago, 3 weeks before WrestleMania. They should have went like more out there. There was a lot of moments where it was like they're gonna build up something, and then you felt really deflated, like seconds later.
Right.
Like when Nia Jackson's music hit, and you kind of saw more of a triple threat with them and Beth Phoenix coming out of retirement than the Iconics. Even though the promo started out as them kind of teasing it's going to be the Iconics, and then Nia comes out, and then Beth and them, and they had the match and everything. It was kind of like nobody wanted to see that kind of.
Right. How did the people react to Beth? Because watching it on TV, it felt like she was getting a respectable reaction, but not like overwhelming like you would hope for. Her announcing her big return.
It was pretty good when she first came out, because we thought that maybe the match was going to happen on Raw, just to have her put over Sasha and Bayley. And then when she started saying, "I want to go to WrestleMania," and points at the sign, the reaction really kind of changed into her. I would say, because people are kind of like, "Oh, we're going to go down that road," and they might have her get the title now, just have that one last run that they like to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did they say anything about Survivor Series, like anything regarding tickets or what they're doing with that?
I didn't hear anything for Survivor Series, but they were promoting, live events coming up later on and other Raw tapings, but nothing for Survivor Series yet.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else you would like to add about the show, or anything you would like to plug or promote?
I think I said everything I wanted to say about the show, except the beach balls got really annoying by like the third match that somebody tried. It seemed like it was the same guy who bought infinite beach balls. I couldn't tell if they were NoDQ ones or not, but
we'll have to send them one.
It got to be a joke, as it kept the meme coming out.
Right. All right. Well, anything you would like to promote?
Nothing really. Just I guess the NoDQ Galaxy shirt, since my name's on it. So buy the shirt, people.
Yeah, buy the shirt.
My name's on it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I get to say wrestling merch has my name on it, so buy it.
Yes,
please.
Buy it. NoDQ.com/shirts. All right. Thank you so much for calling in. Have a great night, my friend.
Thanks, Aaron. Anytime.
No problem. Take care. Have a great one.
You too.
All right. Bye. Alrighty. So that was James, aka Power Packer. So yeah, just a quick plug. Friday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and whatever time that is in the UK. I think it's like 8 o'clock or something in the evening, but it'll be early enough for people in the UK so they can tune in. This coming Friday, I will be doing a special NoDQ&A live. This will actually be the first official NoDQ&A live that I'm doing, where I'll just be answering questions from Twitter at Aaron Rift. Also, I'll be answering questions via Super Chat, and then, of course, I'll be taking calls on Skype. You guys have been asking for me to do another live call-in video stream, so I will be doing that this coming Friday. NoDQ&A live. Stay tuned for that, and that's all I got for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Please keep spreading the word. Tell a friend. Follow me at Twitter at Aaron Rift, because it gets very interesting. It's definitely entertaining when I go back and forth with some of the softies over on Twitter that get offended over every little thing. And they're welcome to call in. Anybody out there that is watching this right now and you have a problem with me, I'll have the Skype line open. You can call me. You can call me out. Talk to me face to face. Well, not face to face, but you can talk to me directly if you have a problem with me. I'm more than welcome to confront anybody that has a problem with me. So bring it on. Let's do it. Anybody out there that has a problem with me, call in. Just please don't spam or troll or whatever. If you got a serious beef with me, serious issue that you need to discuss, call in. Let's talk. So that'll do it for tonight. I will be back tomorrow night, by the way. Let's not forget about tomorrow night's NoDQ Live. I'll be back to review SmackDown Live, and stay tuned for more.